Good morning, class. Good morning. Did you have a good weekend? Yes. God, I love being a teacher. Today, we will be going over the first 114 lines of the wonderful, horrible, horrid, bristling Paradise Lost! Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes. I am an expert on lexiconography. I might as well be God. I will now begin reading this poem. This story of man and Satan's disobedience. A poem of audacity. Ah! Listen to this epic sweep. The sound of Milton's language. You tell me, is Satan Miltonic or Cromwellian? Ha! We'll never know. Never. Of man's first disobedience, and the fruit of that forbidden tree, whose mortal taste brought death into the world, and all our woe, with loss of Eden, till one greater man restore us, and regain the blissful seat. Sing, heavenly muse, that on the secret top of Oreb, or of Sinai, didst inspire that shepherd who first taught the chosen seed in the beginning of how the heavens and earth rose out of chaos, or if Sion hill delight thee more, in Siloa's brook that flowed fast by the oracle of God. I thence invoke thy aid to my adventurous song, that with no middle flight intends to soar above the annoying mount, while it pursues things unattempted yet, in prose or rhyme. O Spirit, that dost prefer before all temples the upright heart and pure, instruct me, for thou knowest, thou from the first wast present, and with mighty wings outspread, dove-like, satst brooding on the vast abyss, and madst it pregnant. What in me is dark, illumine. What is low, raise and support, that to the height of this great argument I may assert eternal providence and justify the ways of God to men. Say first, for heaven hides nothing from thy view, nor the deep tract of hell. Say first, what cause moved our grandparents in that happy state, favored of heaven so highly, to fall off from their Creator and transgress his will? For one restraint, lords of the world besides, who first seduced them to that foul revolt. The infernal serpent, he it was whose guile, stirred up with envy and revenge, deceived the mother of mankind. What time his pride had cast him out from heaven with all his hosts of rebel angels, by whose aid, aspiring to set himself in glory above his peers, he trusted to have equaled the Most High, if he opposed, and with ambitious aim, against the throne and monarchy of God, raised impious Warren Heavian, the battle proud with vain attempt, him, the almighty power, hurled headlong, flaming from the ethereal sky, with hideous ruin and combustion, down to the bottomless perdition, there to dwell in adamantine chains and penal fire, who durst defy the omnipotent to arms, 9 times the space that measures day and night. To mortal men he with his horrid crowd lay vanquished, rolling in the fiery gulf, confounded though immortal. But his doom reserved him to more wrath, for now the thought both of lost happiness and lasting pain torments him. Round he throws his baleful eyes, that witness huge affliction and dismay, mixed with obdurate pride and steadfast hate. At once, as far as angels can, he views the dismal situation, waste and wild, a dungeon, horrible, on all sides round, as one great furnace flamed, yet from those flames no light, but rather darkness visible, served only to discover sights of woe, regions of sorrow. doleful shades where peace and rest can never dwell. Hope never comes that comes to all, but torture without end still urges, and a fiery deluge fed with ever-burning sulfur unconsumed. Such place eternal justice had prepared for those rebellious, here their prison ordained in utter darkness, and their portion set as far removed from God and light of heaven as from the center thrice to the utmost pole. Oh, how unlike the place from whence they fell! There the companions of his fall, o'erwhelmed with floods and whirlwinds of tempestuous fire, he soon discerns, and weltering by his side, one next himself in power and next in crime, long after known in Palestine, and named Beelzebub, from whom the arch enemy, and thence the heaven called Satan, with bold words, breaking the horrid silence, thus began, If thou beest he, but oh, how fallen, how changed from him who, in the happy realms of light, clothed with transcendent brightness, didst outshine. Sorry. Literature. Oh, Milton. Continue. Myriads, though bright, if he who mutual league, united thoughts and counsels, equal hope and hazard, in the glorious enterprise, joined with me once, now misery hath joined, in equal ruin, into what pit thou seest, from what height fallen, so much the stronger proved, he with his thunder, and till then who knew the force of those dire arms, yet not for those, nor what the potent victor in his rage can else inflict, do I repent or change, thou changed in outward luster, that fixed mind and high disdain from sense of injured merit, that with the mightiest raised me to contend, and to the fierce contention brought along innumerable force of spirits armed, that durst dislike his reign, and me, performing his utmost power, with adverse power opposed in dubious battle, on the plains of heaven, and shook his throne. What thou the field be lost? I was not lost. The conquerable will, and study of revenge, immortal hate, and courage never to submit or yield, and what is else not to be overcome, that glory shall in his wrath or might extort from me, to bow and sue for grace with suppliant knee, and defy his power, from whom the terror of this arm so late doubted his empire, that were low indeed, that were in ignominy and shame beneath this downfall, since by fate the strength of gods in this imperial substance cannot fail. This concludes the dramatic reading through lines 114 in Paradise Lost. This concludes me, Milton, describing the indescribable. Now go home and think about it. Think about Milton. Think about Milton! I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.